Okay, so we're talking about the Mindful School Bus Project, and this project is to help with social emotional skills in children and development. And so, normally in schools, I've taught school for 5 years, there's a lack of social emotional development. Those character skills, those things that help you to self regulate when things aren't necessarily going your way or you're dealing with some type of trauma, which a lot of our children do. And so our goal is to buy school buses and to gut them out and turn them into mobile yoga studios. And we'll create a space where children can come and learn about yoga, learn about mindfulness, and learn how to self-regulate themselves, learn how to cope with the things that are going on in life. And hopefully it's not too dramatic, but we don't want to be naive in the fact that our children go through a lot of things. And so we definitely want to give them the coping mechanisms that will carry them on to have a well life. So Yoga in the Hood is a nonprofit organization. I started Yoga in the Hood about 3 years ago after practicing yoga for 7 years. I started practicing yoga when I got pregnant with my first child, Zoe. And so I wanted to have a natural childbirth. So I started practicing yoga. And from that, it was just such an amazing experience for me. The first time I stepped on the mat, although I was very uncomfortable and nobody in the room looked like me, it was just something that drew me to the space that I had to always continue to go despite my uncomfortableness. And that led to me being able to heal myself, to know myself and who I am, and to come to grips with things that I necessarily didn't like about myself and how I could change them, how I could improve them. And so yoga helps to heal the body, not only physically, but mentally. And I would even beg to give her spiritually. And so to be able to bring that to my community, because I feel like that's a lot of the issues in our community in inner cities, that we don't know how to self-regulate and how to heal ourselves when we're dealing with different traumas or just everyday stresses in life. So that's why I created Yoga in the Hood, to make yoga accessible to everybody, to make wellness accessible to everybody. Because we have this cliche that yoga is just for skinny white women, but that's not necessarily the truth at all. Yoga is for everybody. Healing is for everybody. Love and compassion is for everybody. And so that's why I created Yoga in the Hood, to bring yoga, bring the practice of mindfulness, bring love and compassion to inner city communities. So I taught school for about 5 years, and to help in my classroom management, that's what it began as. I would start my classroom or my days off practicing yoga and mindfulness. And that in and of itself helped to set the tone in my classroom. It helped to, I think, bring everybody on, I don't want to say a level playing ground, but bring everybody to the space and leave everything that they came in with behind so that they will be effective in the classroom. And so just dealing with working in inner city schools and working with children who deal with a lot of trauma, who deal with, from loss of parents to parents being incarcerated to having to literally run households. And I'm just talking about the 5th grade here. Bringing the practice of yoga, I noticed how it would help them cope. Like, I would have students in my classroom who'd be like, oh, I don't want that kid in my classroom. It's just so disruptive. But they would come into my classroom and they would follow directions and they would get the work done. And I strongly believe that was because of the practice of yoga and mindfulness, and them being able to have an opportunity to be able to calm their mind, be able to leave whatever happened at the house or happened last night behind, and just start with a clean slate. Yoga helps to do that on a daily basis. So that's one of my goals with Yoga in the Hood, is to bring diversity to the practice of yoga. Like, it's apparent that we open up the realms of yoga, like open up the realms of healing. It's not just for the rich, it's not just for the women who are able to be at home all day long, housewives. It's not just for that. And so I think being sensitive to the culture, being sensitive to my community and their needs and their wants, and knowing what makes them feel uncomfortable about the practice. Some of the music makes them feel uncomfortable, some of the words in Sanskrit. And so just being able to cultivate a new way to deliver the practice. And so I use different kind of music. I use trap music. I host Trap Star Yoga, where I practice yoga to trap music. I do, R&B, 90s R&B, things that people can relate to. So when they come to the practice of yoga and it's brand new, everything's not brand new. The wording, the music, the poses, like something must be familiar in order for you to become comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that's the practice. I want to create a space where people can be comfortable when uncomfortable things come up. But what I've come to find out is that we're going to need more than one school bus, and it's going to cost more than $6,000 because I have to insure the bus, I have to get it remodeled, and we want to have more than one bus because I since then doing research, and I think only like 15 to 16 students can be on the bus at one time plus the teacher. And so if we go into schools, we definitely want to have 4 buses so we can do at least 2 classrooms at a time. Otherwise, we won't be able to be as effective as possible. So yeah, we need a fleet of school buses. We need a fleet of school buses. Like I see the Mindful School Bus everywhere in all the cities. I feel like that's something that'll be beneficial to schools when you come into schools and you're doing PE. Sometimes you can replace PE with yoga and mindfulness. And Mindful School Bus or field days or recreation centers, or just coming out to different yoga studios. Because I know in Dallas, a lot of yoga studios do not offer children's classes, and that can hinder a single parent from going to the practice of yoga. But if the Mindful School Bus pulls up to the yoga studio, then the parent can do yoga and the kids can do yoga. So it's just so many different facets that I see the Mindful School Bus going in, and I feel like we need like a lot of school buses. A whole lot. I see in 5 years, Yoga in the Hood will definitely be global. It'll definitely be, I believe, a franchise. Because we will create studios, we'll create spaces where individuals can come and practice yoga and know what it means to be well. And we'll put it in communities where it is not accessible. And so I believe definitely that in 5 years, Yoga in the Hood will be in neighborhoods near you, like everywhere, like all around the world. And I believe that the Mindful School Bus will have fleets of school buses, and we'll be able to cultivate a culture in communities where self-regulation is the norm and not just dealing with trauma and dealing with being silent. I definitely see it.